Knocked out in the second round of the NCAA tournament last season. The last home game was the first round victory against BU. Syracuse, 283 days later, are back at SU Soccer Stadium, and we are underway. This is a Syracuse team, as mentioned in our open, completely brand new. 22 total new players, only 8 returnees, 3 of which are goalkeepers, which is also a very key point. And one of those transfers as well is the goalkeeper, Thomas Haller, we mentioned in the open.
And if you're Syracuse, you want to start this game off strong. It took until the 87th minute to get that goal last time out against Colgate, so it's all about starting off strong here tonight.
Syracuse already maintaining possession as was sort of expected. This is a Syracuse team that has become much more respected ever since the national championship season. Teams like to come to Central New York, specifically to Syracuse, to try and make things that little bit more difficult. Thread goes cross to the back post and it headed away just in time, and Niagara can sprint forward on the counterattack. Mateus Spina sprinting through midfield. It's Cameron Roach on the far side. That cross to the back post, Kogler's there. Syracuse quick on the scene, and Gabe Threadgold loses out this time. Del Piore now for the Purple Eagles. Of course, on this beautiful natural surface at SU Soccer Stadium, it's something that head coach Bill Boyle said his team was actually excited about to come play on this beautiful surface. Something that we know the Syracuse Orange team absolutely adores.
That was a physical play early on. We're expecting a lot of physicality in that match, and Kalukian just slides in, and he'll get a yellow card for it as well. So just like that, not even 2 minutes in, the first card awarded.
Absolutely, less than 2 minutes in, the Armenian already in the referee's booking pocket. Nicholas Kalukian is a player that head coach Ian McIntyre said that he's the spearhead of the team. He starts out the press, his work rate's terrific. The goals will come for him after not a fantastic season, not a terrible season by any stretch of the imagination. Had a good streak of scoring 3 goals in 3 games middle of last season. A good opportunity here for Niagara. Del Piore's cross. Out comes Tomas Hutt for his first contribution of the evening.
Nick, you brought it up there with Kalukian. His press is what makes him so important to this team. With that yellow card, I'm interested to see how that's going to change. Is he going to have to lay back a little bit? Is Niagara going to be able to maybe play a little bit more calmer in the defense because you don't have Kalukian going at you with the yellow?
Syracuse coming off of an opening win against fellow CNY team Colgate on Thursday, and that was a late victory from Chimere Omese, his goal in the 87th minute, which secured the victory for the Orange. It was certainly a game that Coach Ian McIntyre said, well, whoever scheduled that game away, first game of the season, the complete idiot. But he knows it's always a tough game down in Hamilton, New York, and it was proven so. But it also shows the character of this team, this young team as well, early going, able to get a victory even in tough circumstances.
In-state matchups are always really difficult. You said this earlier, but you know that Niagara is playing its A game tonight. You know that you have a chance to come into an ACC venue and do something special. So especially when it's a New York matchup, things get a little bit more physical and a lot more intense.
Throwing on the far side for the Orange. And Syracuse have done well in season openers. They've won 4 straight. An interesting stat as well is that they haven't won at home on a Sunday since 2022. And for head coach Ian McIntyre, he knows there's so many new players. And like you mentioned in the open, Adam, the only thing that's the same about this team is this jersey they are wearing. But he's excited. He's excited for the journey to go on with this group. It is a very young group, very athletic group, he says. It should be very exciting. In the first corner of the game, taken by one of those transfer students, Nathan Scott. Was taken short. Sakil Ming, his cross towards the center. Barry had to come out. And there was a collision and a little bit of concern here for the Niagara goalkeeper as he remains down.
That's always scary in front. You have a high ball coming in. Everyone is just watching the ball, trying to attack.
And immediately the physio for Niagara comes out onto the field. Let's take a look at what happened there. That was the collision between Andre Cutler de Jesus and Jamie Barry, has left the Irishman still on the floor and still down away from these pictures. Head coach Bill Boyle, figure out what happened there, possibly see a yellow card for Cutler de Jesus. And Coach Boyle, in his 9th season as Niagara head coach, knows the goal of this team. Having so many returnees come as well, only 5 newcomers. He says he doesn't envy head coach Ian McIntyre at all with the amount of newcomers. He always prefers, any coach prefers, to have players you know who they are and how they play. As Jamie Barry back to his feet, and that's a welcome sight for all in attendance.
Just got caught off guard, it seemed like, when he got hit. And it was something that you really like to see from Cutler de Jesus. The second that he ran into Barry, before Barry even hit the ground, was trying to make sure that he was okay.
Well, David Vasquez, the athletic trainer for Niagara, doubling and triple checking his goalkeeper is okay. Still working his arm there is Barry, and Ian McIntyre even the first 5 minutes, as we have now had the clock stopped. And in the early going, he knows how difficult this season could be, but that is the nature of the beast in NCAA soccer. These teams are changing every single season. It's never the same team. We even saw that last year with Syracuse. So many transfers that came in. The single freshman actually on the field tonight, Ezra Widman. The rest of the newcomers in 2023 were transfers. High press from Syracuse works in their favor. Nathan Scott tries to find Aqua, couldn't do so. Long ball over the top. Dominic Sintra chasing after it. And Chimre Omese, the freshman, getting goal side and winning the free kick.
That's a great job by Omese. Coming back, you just see the burst of speed that he has. He was a couple steps behind, but ended up getting to that ball first and winning possession.
Beautiful night. Some NCAA soccer here in beautiful central New York. There's not a rivalry as such between these two teams, but there's certainly a level of physicality and pride involved, especially with the two coaches. Bill Boyle and Ian McIntyre played with each other at Hartwick for 3 seasons. Boyle a year younger than Englishman McIntyre.
Those were some pretty good Hartwick teams as well back in the days of just one division. They made a couple deep runs in the NCAA tournament.
And Bill Boyle, he considers Coach Mack a friend and also has nothing but respect for this Syracuse team and the program that has been developed, especially over the last few seasons and last decade of success in the ACC and, of course, that 2022 national championship. This is a Niagara team so experienced. 21 returnees in total for head coach Bill Boyle. It's also a squad of many different nationalities and characters. Coach Bill Boyle said there's always a different song being played in the locker room before every game. It could be some of the Spanish music, some for the Irish guys as well. Challenge on Kalukian by Alberto Sanchez Cervera, excuse me. And once again, Nicholas Kalukian, the spearhead of the attack, the Spaniard for Niagara, making a good challenge to force the throw. Direct goal. Now Scott can't get the cross in and will win a throw. It wasn't quite far enough to be a corner. Ming looking for space. Syracuse trying to play out of the pressure. Radical thrashes it. And wins yet another throw on the near side for the Orange.
It's just really interesting to see some of the tactics with this Syracuse team early in the season. Last year, we would see a lot of the time just a quick throw in and a cross to the middle. Right now, it seems like they're trying to be a little bit more creative and work with small passes.
Syracuse looking to recycle as well. That is a foul on Sam Layton. A free kick for SU. Sam Layton, one of the grad students coming in for SU this season. Played 4 seasons at Southern Illinois Edwardsville. Syracuse from the free kick. It was taken quickly. It will be a corner kick. Early going, Syracuse putting on the pressure. Keel Ming will take this corner kick. Bermudan international. Cross to the near post, flicked on off the crossbar at the back post, still ball's alive. And it will go out of play. It'll be a corner on the far side. Fantastic header at the near post.
They can't get any closer than that, just off the crossbar from Kalukian. This is a Syracuse team that almost led the nations in corner kicks last year, but struggled sometimes to put it into the back of the net, and such a good chance early on in this season.
Kalukian, free header at the near post as well. What an opportunity for the Orange. Just under 9 minutes gone. November for Syracuse on the corner kick. Once crossed in, Barry came to punch. Once headed back in by Widman, only as far as the Niagara defense, but they can't clear it away. And handball is then called at midfield, this time on Widman. We'll turn to the referee with frustration. In the end, it will be a Purple Eagles free kick. Jamie Barry, after that scare in the early moments, so back on his feet and seems to be okay. It would be a huge miss for Niagara if he was to get injured. Sophomore goalkeeper from Dublin, had a fantastic year last season. 4 clean sheets in total in 16 games. And one of the captains this season. All the 3 of the captains for Niagara this season are not seniors, they're juniors and sophomores. Jamie Barry, the sophomore. Coach Bill Boyd said it's the first time that he's had a captain be an underclassman. Foul called against Niagara there. Once again, Chimre Omese, even in the early going, he's got that pace, that look. He always seems to be 1 step ahead of whatever opposing player.
Yeah, he's the type of player who you kind of think, how is he always around the ball? And that's exactly what you're looking for. He's a defender who scored the goal in the last game because that's just what he can do. He's always around the ball.
Sintra on the far side. Nicely won back by Cutler de Jesus. Niagara still have possession. Great battle there on the far side. They still have it. Here's Sintra on the ball. Comes back out wide to Spina. Hungerford. Good challenge for Omese. That ball will dribble out of play. It'll be a goal kick, and that will go against Landon Hungerford. Now, this is a matchup that goes back quite a few years. The first ever matchup between Syracuse and Niagara was all the way back in 1969. Syracuse have had the upper hand, 18-4. There's never been a draw in that time. And 3 wins on the bounce as well for SU. Syracuse have won all but 1 of the last 15 games in this series. Here's Ming. Going up against Talsma, the freshman, who did ever so well to get it away. Jeremy Talsma in that previous matchup against UAlbany, nothing he could do. It was his own goal. That was the difference maker in the 89th minute, but his head coach had nothing but praises for him, and he was frustrated for his player that it was that sort of situation. Kalukian, aqua shot, deflected wide, and it had to be. And Syracuse will have yet another corner.
That's a great opportunity for the Orange. We saw them try and build through the middle there. We've seen so many chances down the sides, but a great chance there for Aqua. He gets the shot off, takes a great touch to get a little bit more space, but then right there, a great job to just deflect it away, and another corner for the Orange already.
Syracuse led the league, led the ACC, I should say, in corner kicks. Ranked 3rd in the nation for corners per game last season, over 7.5. Coach Ian McIntyre, he knows how valuable the corner kicks are. Likes to get those crosses on the wings. Get another one here. That one's crossed towards the center, and Barry did ever so well to hold on to it. Looks to break away for Niagara, kicking it forward. And one back by SU. That one's a foul called against Syracuse, against Kalukian.
He was just backing into his defender, was trying to make the argument that he got jumped over top of, but if you back into the guy first, then you're in the wrong. You have to make sure the defender has the right of way as well.
It's always what referees say, you got to jump straight up, and especially when you're backing into a player, always succumb to any sort of foul. And Kalukian already needs to be careful, got that yellow card in the 2nd minute. Red Dogs attempt went straight up in the air and ricochets off of Nathan Scott, and a throw in for Niagara on the near side.
We haven't really seen Niagara sustain possession yet in this match. We've seen whenever they get the ball, usually it's in the counterattack, they go straight towards the net. Let's see if they maybe try and slow it down and just control for a little bit here.
Kogler's cross to the center, the ball is loose. That shot from distance, oh my goodness, that is a phenomenal save from Tomas Hutt.
How about Tomas Hutt? He saved the game last time out in his first ever start for Syracuse and keeps this one even at 0-0 early on. Goes full just into the air, punches it wide, an unbelievable shot, and even better save.
Gianluca Del Priori, the first time effort from distance, forces a fantastic save from the senior Tomas Hutt in his 2nd appearance for the Orange. And Bill Boyle will feel that his team were inches away from taking the lead. They have a corner instead. That one's crossed towards the center, the header away from Leighton. Comes as far as Mateus Spina, flicks it up over the top. One's headed clear, but not far enough. Omese calls for handball from the Niagara players. Referee looks the other way. Bill Boyle with a fair bit of bemusement on that decision.
He might not be happy right now, but this is about as perfect of a first 15 minutes for Niagara as possible.
Flicked over the top, Syracuse able to win it back. Ming flicking it all the way over. Ball is loose. Aqua has Kalukian. It was just behind him. Kalukian taking the space ahead of him. Still Kalukian. Nicholas Kalukian deflection. And that will trickle wide. That'll be yet another Syracuse corner, their 5th.
There's the creativity that you want to see from Kalukian. Takes the shot from the outside and just forces the corner kick. We've already seen the opportunities on the corners. If you have a chance to just get another one, why not? Take those shots from outside. Be aggressive.
5th corner, as I mentioned, for Syracuse. Kalukian is already putting on the pressure, leading the forward line. Already hit the crossbar today. That corner was not put in the right position, and Syracuse will have to reset. We're under half an hour to go in the first half here at SU Soccer Stadium. Nicholas Whaley and Adam Gotkin with you on AC Network Extra. We've seen one spectacular save from Tomas Hutt in the Syracuse net after a great shot from Gianluca Del Priori moments ago. We've also seen Nicholas Kalukian hit the crossbar from a corner. Both teams have come close, but not close enough. Syracuse win it back in midfield. Jim Famba. Kalukian, he's got a little bit of room. Nicholas Kalukian. Aqua! Fantastic save from Barry. The ball's still loose. That shot again, and another save from Barry. Sakil Ming with the 2nd effort. And Jamie Barry, the sophomore.
How about that? Multiple unbelievable saves, but this is the attack that you want to see from Syracuse. Build through the middle. Give yourselves those opportunities. We saw early in the game, the first 10 or so minutes, they were keeping it out on the wing. We've seen so much success when they put the ball in the middle of the field.
2 times Syracuse have tested Jamie Barry in the space of a few seconds. This has been a cracking contest. And we still have 27 minutes to go in the first half, plus 45 in the second. And the lawn filling up as well here at SU Soccer Stadium. That one's punched away by Barry. All the corner kicks have come relatively close to the 6-yard area. But Barry has dealt with most of them so far.
And as we get more and more corner kicks on this side of the pitch, everyone's starting to get more familiar. You're all so close, in tight in that situation. We're starting to see a little bit of pushing and shoving. I think everyone was expecting physicality in this match, and we've seen it so far.
Just played forward by Widman. Niagara to try and push forward here. Hard challenge from Nathan Scott, and it will go against the California. Nathan Scott transferred from UC Riverside, started all 16 games for UCR last season, assisted 3 goals and was an All Big West member in the All Big West freshman team, I should say. Well done from Chimre Omese once again. Was forced out of play. Syracuse can reset with the throw.
I'll tell you what, Omese does not look like a freshman on the pitch. He's someone who's got so much experience, played in the U17 World Cup for Canada. He's been a member of professional youth academies for pretty much his entire life. So he's someone who is used to playing with older guys. He's trained with the best of the best before. So he's someone who's used to this moment. And I mean, we've seen him excel so far this season and in this match.
Ball intended for Sakil. It was a little too strong. The sun sets over beautiful central New York. Jamie Barry has already been tested. He's had 6 saves already. His career high was against UAlbany with 8. Only 2 away from that margin. Even at this early stage, it's fair to say Syracuse have had their chances. Hit the crossbar once, forced at least 2 spectacular saves from Barry.
I think Barry was expecting to see a high volume of shots in this match. We were expecting Niagara to sit back, but Syracuse has gotten a couple chances close to the net, but even then Barry has had success.
Widman loses out this time. Long ball over the top will cause a little bit of chaos at the back, but Carlos De Jesus does well for Syracuse. That one played over the top. There's Widman running onto it. Keeps it in play. Chifamba. Nearly everyone behind the ball at the moment for Niagara. The only one forward is Felix Kogler. Diagonal switch. Red Gold, his shot away. We're happily to join by head coach Ian McIntyre on the sideline. Coach, how would you judge the first 20 minutes? Well, hopefully we'll get to talk to Coach Mack in a moment, but a little bit of chaos on the sideline after that challenge will certainly make the Englishman not happy. Looks like Sam Layton was brought down, but the foul was called against the Australian.
Yes, they're saying the foul was maybe before Layton was sent to the ground. That's why it was the initial contact.
Either way, Niagara still have it after the free kick. That one crossed in and nicely collected this time by Thomas Hutt. Hopefully we'll get to talk to Coach Ian McIntyre in a few moments. Of course, in the heat of battle, it's always more important to worry about what's going on the pitch. Here's Gabe Threadgold. Chifamba trying to flick it forward, couldn't find a fellow orange shirt. Del Piore did well there to keep hold of possession for Niagara. It's Palsma. That ball over the top. Cutler De Jesus heading it clear. Ball still bouncing around in the air. And that's Akil Ming can play the ball forward. Yeah, Niagara will send it forward, but 23 minutes gone. Adam, what have you seen from both teams that's impressed you?
I think Niagara has done a great job defensively. They're keeping their shape. They're trying to do their best against this high-powered Syracuse offense. And then on the counter, when Niagara gets forward, they're getting good shots on it. I mean, Tomas Hutt pretty much saved Syracuse from going down 1-0 early. So if you're Niagara, I think you could not be more thrilled with these first 23 minutes.
Threadgold did well there, still running with it. Threadgold still trying to get the better side of Landon Hungerford. Forces the throw on the near side. Dave Threadgold, one of the grad students for SU, played at Waldorf University and LMU. And Stan Corelli played at Washington. That header from Ezra Widman. Inches away from the sophomore.
So close for Widman in his first collegiate start. As you said earlier, he was the one freshman on the team last year. Coach McIntyre so excited about what he could do this season, and what a chance there on the header. Just barely missed wide of the net, but another good opportunity for the Orange. And if you're Ian McIntyre, you just want to keep doing what you've been doing, sending balls into the middle, and eventually one of those has to find its way in.
Certainly is a youthful and, yes, inexperienced feel to this team, but there's so much firepower, especially, at least from our vantage point. You can see players are running after every ball, but then you have that experience as well with the likes of Sam Lane, with the likes of Gabe Threadgold to help mature them as well.
It's just the difficulties of college sports nowadays. You got to try and manage the freshmen with the transfers.
Lovely switch from Old Mesa. Here's Threadgold. Threadgold couldn't control that one, but Syracuse will win the free kick. And we'll have the first yellow card of the evening for Niagara, Dominic Sintra, excuse me. Dominic Sintra is a player that head coach Bill Boyle says that most coaches definitely don't like him because he gets stuck in. He makes those challenges that look maybe a little bit worse than they appear. At least that's what he said. But that one certainly worthy of a yellow card on this occasion.
Without a doubt, a little bit too aggressive and just too late, setting late into the ground.
Sam Lane will go short for SU. Australian will also carry it forward. The captain for SU tonight. Kalukian. Aqua. Can he find an opening? Ran into a wall. Ball couldn't get kid. Threadgold's cross. The ball still loose. Widman comes onto it. Syracuse still putting the pressure on. Threadgold gets the low cross in. Ball is loose, and it's this time headed clear by Hungerford. The Purple Eagles can breathe, at least for a little bit. 20 minutes to go in the first half here at SU Soccer Stadium. Nicholas Whaley and Adam Gutkin with you. Still scoreless, but both teams have come close. A fantastic stay from Thomas Hutt has kept it from 1-0, and multiple saves from Jamie Barry as well. That cross to the middle, Brian Widman is there! And Syracuse break through! Ezra Widman, New York's own. What a way to open your count for Syracuse.
Well, here's the youth. It starts off with Ming, sends the cross in after a little bit of nifty moves, and a great job by Widman to get on it after being a little bit frustrated with himself a couple minutes ago for missing a header. Gets somehow that ball into the net with the angle. A great job to open his foot, and there was absolutely nothing that Jamie Barry could do about it. So much power coming at him. Just perfect from Widman.
Comes from the city, 4.5 hours south. But for New York's college team, he's finally got his first goal. After 8 appearances last season, Ezra Widman, the only freshman in the 2023 class, Still an underclassman, but making a big impact. And with 20 minutes to go in the first half, Syracuse lead Niagara. Cross towards the Syracuse penalty area is easily collected by Tomas Hutt.
Now it'll be interesting to see how Niagara responds. They went down 1-0 in the first 5 minutes of their opener against UAlbany and then tied it up. They also went down to 10 men later in the game while down and then tied it up. So this is a Purple Eagles squad who is relentless, who is going to continue to try and attack. And even if they're in a tie game, they're going to go forward. I
have to say, Felix Kogler has really struggled to get involved in the game. Number 33, the lead striker for this Purple Eagles squad. Almost crossed in. Nathan Scott with the hand in the back, and it will be a free kick to Niagara.
It's just difficult to get Kogler involved when you're playing so far back. We haven't really seen this Niagara team slowly build up at all. It's send the ball far forward. It's attack on a counter. And so when that happens, unless Kogler is just there when the ball comes to him, it's really difficult to get involved. So maybe now we'll see a chance for Niagara on a free kick to slowly build up possession.
And after you concede a goal like that, it needs to take a little bit of time, take a breath, find a way back into it. Syracuse on paper and as well as what we've seen at the moment have been dominant. They've had more of the possession, they've had more corners, more shots. But that one shot from Niagara did come incredibly close. Opportunity now from the free kick as well for the Purple Eagles. Near side, Felix Kogler, we just mentioned, could see him get a little bit more involved. Isn't in the penalty area, but has great service as well. Crossed in, the header is cleared from Scott towards the corner flag. Mateus Spina up against Nathan Scott. Del Piore. Now Brooks. That ball over the top, and had to be a crucial header because Landon Hungerford was waiting at the back post. Kalukin heads it on. As Gilman can run onto it. He's got Threadgold in behind. Threadgold's crossed to the middle. He gets it back still there. Aqua's there. And the header goes over the bar, and it will be a Niagara goal kick.
And that's why Niagara has been so passive to attack. You see there, they get caught forward, and there's the danger of Syracuse behind. If you give this talented squad who has so much speed, so much youth, just room to move forward, then they're going to attack. They're going to make you pay. And Niagara, lucky that they did not give up the second there.
The crosses from SU have been exquisite tonight. As we mentioned, Ezra Widman missed a glancing header by a mere inches. And yet another opportunity there from the cross. That ball comes up into the stands and out into the parking lot. New balls, please. Just over a quarter of an hour to go at SU Soccer Stadium. Syracuse have that breakthrough. Ezra Widman with his first career goal for SU. Only appeared 8 times last season. He got the start tonight, his first start of the season, and has already made that impact. Syracuse have done historically well when scoring first. Last season, when they did score first, they were 6-2-2. So statistically, at least, that bodes well for Coach Ian McIntyre. Last 15 minutes, Adam, of the first half. From a Niagara perspective, you try and go a little bit more all out, or just try and keep it at 1 before halftime?
I think if you go all out, you give up the risk of Syracuse adding another, because that's the worst possible thing. Going down 2 into the break, we saw just a couple minutes ago when Niagara pushed forward, they almost got caught behind. So, we'll see what they do here. Do they quickly go forward or build up?
We'll have to see that right now, but the build-up play gets faded out because Syracuse won it back. Ball over the top for Kalukian, lovely control. Nicholas Kalukian! Comfortable save in the end for Jamie Barry.
And for Niagara there, just 3 players in front of the ball. Usually they don't have any, and because of it, Kalukian has room in behind. It's a perfect ball in, and that's the danger here for Niagara. Syracuse is so precise with those passes that if you send guys forward, Syracuse will make you pay.
Jeremy Tolsma surging forward, but fantastic interception by Sam Layton, and now Syracuse can quickly come the other way. Ming sending it forward, and that one's cut out in the end, this time by Kevin Payne. Total of 5 substitutions waiting on the sideline for the Orange. That's what happens when you have 31 total players on the roster, 28 ready and fit to go.
And one of the rule changes this year in men's soccer, you only have 6 windows to sub, so expect to see this a lot. These times where you're going to see 5 guys in and 5 guys out, because you only have 6 times. So Syracuse now, other than halftime, which doesn't count, only has 5 more opportunities to sub guys in and out. So how do you manage that? That's what these coaches are trying to figure out early in the season. There's so many new things to college soccer this year that it's still a learning process for everyone.
Braden Smith, Daniel Burko, Ernest Bauer are 3 of the 5 substitutions to come in, as well as Christian Forte is also making his appearance, along with Ben Rosenblatt for SU. When having 5 substitutions come in, obviously there's a lot of fresh legs, but these are guys who are still don't know how possibly even to work together, especially having such big of a change. Is that difficult when coming into a game? And also from a team perspective, the guys who are on the field, when you have 5 guys coming in, you think that's more of an advantage or a disadvantage?
I think it might help you out a little bit, just because it's not just 1 new player in. It's 5 guys who you imagine there's a reason that it's those 5 going in together, that crew brings something special. But it's always difficult when you have so many new players coming in. And for Coach McIntyre, I mean, you're subbing 5 guys in 1 game at one time, because you got to trial them. You have to see how players do in game environments, because there's so many new guys.
Syracuse 11 shots to Niagara's 1. 6 corner kicks as well for the Orange, and we've seen Syracuse dominant on the wings and getting those crosses into the box, and it's very stereotypical of Ian McIntyre's offense. Likes to get numbers in the center to pick off any loose ends as well. It's Forte. Jimre Omese takes space ahead of him. Rosenblatt. His first contributions of the day. Christian Forte. Making the charge down the left flank, and is able to cause a free kick. That will be in a very promising position for SU. Brandon Smith making his 2nd appearance of the season. He comes from the MLS Next Academy of New England Revolution. Only 1 player on the roster who doesn't come from an academy or a transfer. The connection between the MLS Next program and MLS Academies, ever strong. 21 total players have gone to the draft under Ian McIntyre's stewardship. Jafamba, the one standing over this free kick for SU. Just over 10 minutes to go in the first half. Jafamba's cross towards the back post. The header is there, and it goes in. Chinre Omese, his 2nd goal in 2 games. And Syracuse doubled the lead before halftime. Syracuse looking unstoppable against Niagara.
Who would have thought a freshman defender would have 2 goals in his first 2 collegiate matches, and that's just a perfect cross in, and Niagara just loses Omese. He's wide open at the back post. There was really nothing at all that Jamie Berry could do about that. Even if he makes contact with it, there's 3 other SU players right there, and you just see the jubilation, the hill packed with SU students. Classes starting tomorrow, and everyone couldn't be happier.
Why do you have to remind me about that?
I know.
Well, fantastic from Chinre Omese, coming from just over the border in Ontario. Played for the Toronto FC Academy, another one of those MLS Next players who has come in for SU. We'll have a quick water break as well. Take a look at that free kick. We might even have a video review here. We'll question what that might be, possibly in an offside position for Omese at the back post. Would you agree?
Yeah, so this is one of the things that's also new to college soccer, these reviews after the fact on offsides. Now, it's really, really difficult. From this angle, how are you supposed to tell us if he's off? It's not like the professional level where you have all of these different angles at different markers of the field. You can't tell if he's off or not.
And the goal is going to be confirmed. Chimre Omese does have his second goal in 2 games. And this one comes a little earlier than his last. His last came in the 87th minute against Colgate on Thursday. This one in the 35th. And a great example of the new NCAA video rules in full effect. And those rules did come into play last season, but now there's a little more validity to them as well.
Yeah, you see all the other changes in addition to the video review. The one thing to know with video review this year, unless it's 130% confirmed that the call needs to be changed, they will stick with what's on the field, especially with those offside situations. Unless they can 100% tell, they'll stick with what's on the field.
Syracuse pressing down that left wing again. Niagara's looking for answers, and still 10 minutes to go in the first half. You wouldn't be surprised if Syracuse grabbed the third. Burko on the left-hand side, the Norwegian. Can he find an opening? That ball is crossed in. Bauer was there. And as far as Widman, and he couldn't find Rosenblatt on the right-hand side, and it will go out for a Syracuse throw. Here's Rosenblatt. That one's crossed in, ball is still loose. Here's Burko.
That's a good opportunity from Bawa. We were talking about this earlier. It was kind of very surprising that he didn't get the start. A transfer in from North Carolina, someone with so many ACC minutes, but it just shows the talent on this Syracuse team that you can have a guy who's an ACC veteran coming off the bench, and it gives you this burst of energy.
Syracuse sprinting forward again. Here's Widman. Out to Burko, who's now on the right-hand side. His cross to the box. Cleared away easily by the Purple Eagles. But yet again, forcing another throw-in on the near side. Going back to Bauer, though, he's a player played 4 seasons at North Carolina. Also got an assist against SU last season. And joining the enemy, some might say. Here's Rosenblatt for SU. Another throw-in on the near side.
One of the things with Bawa coming in is that Syracuse is familiar with him. They already know everything about his game. They liked him even back when he was in high school. So even though a lot of these guys are transfers in, they're not new faces necessarily to this coaching staff.
Chimre Omese wins another free kick for SU, and yet another dangerous position. Landon Hungerford, the guilty party this time. How about Chimre Omese? 2 goals in 2 games. Freshman, like you mentioned, Adam, you wouldn't believe that he would be the one leading Syracuse at this early stage of the season. Obviously still only 2 games in, but leading the team in scoring.
And as a defender, he does such a great job of understanding when the right time is to move forward. Of course, this goal came on a corner kick, so he was already forward, but we saw that with his goal in the last match.
Chifamba, the one who got that assist for Chimre Omese's goal in the 35th minute. Could his service be of use to SU again? That one's whipped to the back post. Header was up there, but this time it couldn't be brought down by Chimre Omese.
Well, there he is again. He's all over the place. Every single time you look, it's Omese.
Syracuse love playing at home. This is the... They only had 7, that's 8, oh, excuse me. They had 8 multi-goal games in 2023. 7 of them were at SU.
This reminds me a lot of the opener last season against Providence. They scored both the goals in the first half, and both came within about 10 minutes of each other. When Syracuse sees something, they usually take advantage of it and score multiple in a short period of time.
Youthful energy on full display as well. I haven't seen one Syracuse player walk or jog so far. But Niagara could cause trouble here. Here's Kogler. But once again, well defended by the Orange. And they can break away too. Here's Widman. Tries to find Ben Rosenblatt down the wing. He gets there, but is able to force the throw.
That was a really interesting thing you brought up there. No one's really walking or jogging around the field. I think that's because they know if you kind of take things light for a couple minutes, there's about 10 guys behind you who can also go in and play at this level.
This Syracuse bench in front of us is overflowing at the moment. 31 total players on the roster. 2 injuries at the moment. Dominic Bell and Jonah Leibold both unfit to start today, and those two could be key figures in the long run for SU. Under 6 minutes to go from SU Soccer Stadium in the first half. Can Niagara at least halve the lead before halftime? They've had that one great opportunity from Gianluca Del Piore. It was a fantastic save from Thomas Hutt. But since then, Niagara haven't been able to test the senior goalkeeper.
The issue has been is when Niagara is attacking forward, they're getting caught behind, and we haven't seen the counters be successful. Syracuse has done a great job of not giving the ball up in the last 10 or 20 minutes. They haven't put themselves in a spot where they have to run back and try and stop an opportunity.
And that's still the single shot that Niagara have had all evening long. Del Piore. He got it back, but couldn't hold on to it. Syracuse can go forward with Fortier. Daniel Burko. Step over, cutting inside left. Burko flicking it forward. Here's Aqua. That one's crossed in by Rosenblatt and easily collected by Jamie Barry. Fortier again, one of the many freshmen on this roster. 13 in total this season. Cross to the near post. Jamie Barry called into action again, but this time comfortably. There were 13 freshmen on the roster. We had 13 different debutants for Syracuse on Thursday. We've already seen quite a few of them today. Who has impressed you the most so far, Adam?
I mean, it's Omese. I don't think there's any other answer to that.
Well,
with
other
the 2
than
goals.
Omese, is there one other player who hasn't scored the goal?
I think it's the guy who set up the opportunity for the first goal for the Orange, and that's Sakyo Ming. We've seen the explosiveness from him down the left wing. He's done such a good job of giving Syracuse opportunities. But I think the other thing is there's so many players who have been impressive.
A slightly painful challenge on Andre Cutler de Jesus by Lucas Fenton. It's 3.5 minutes to go in the first half. Syracuse 2 goals to the good. Ezra Widman and Chimre Omese, the 2 goal scorers for Qs. There could be another one here. Burko, ball is loose. Ernest Bauer blocked on the line by Kevin Payne. And Ernest Bauer shows a little bit of a smile because he knows that goal could be coming soon.
These past couple minutes for the Orange have just been so dominant, and it's this team starting to understand if we have the ball in the box, just send it towards the middle, give a chance, give it to someone else if you don't think you have anything. It's this unselfishness that's been so successful for Syracuse.
Substitution for Niagara. Mick Basteonen will enter the contest for the Purple Eagles and see if can help them get a goal before halftime. Tiaspina is the one who makes way. What will both head coaches be saying in the 15-minute interval, Adam?
I think if you're Ian McIntyre for Syracuse, it's continue doing what you've been doing, because outside of a couple things in the first couple minutes, Syracuse has looked perfect recently. If you're Niagara, if you're head coach Bill Boyle, I think it's the focus on the counterattack. When this team has possession, they try and slowly build up, they end up giving it away, and Syracuse has men forward. So I think you got to just go quick on offense, because slowly building it up has shown that it's not working.
Just over 90 seconds to go in the first half. Is there an opportunity for the Purple Eagles to make things a little more interesting for the second 45? Smith is able to get it clear, though, for the Orange. And now Ernest Bauer, he's got space ahead of him. He's got Del Piore chasing after him. And is fouled by Del Piore. Gianluca Del Piore was the one who had that shot, that lone shot for Niagara in this first half. It really was a spectacular effort. Make sure to stick around at halftime to see that effort. It created a fantastic save by Tomas Hart. 1 minute to go in the opening 45 at SU Soccer Stadium. Fortier. Rosenblatt. Now Omese. Physical challenge between him and Fenton. It was 50-50. Final 30 seconds. The ball gets stuck right behind the bench, and we'll have to stop the clock.
Tell you what, that was about the worst possible spot in this entire stadium that the ball could have ended up.
It couldn't have gone anywhere worse, could it? And then, so as a result, we have to stop the clock. It does give Syracuse at least another opportunity to bring the ball back into play. Physicality between Burko and Del Piore. It's the Norwegian who comes out on top this time. 20 seconds left in the first half. Does Syracuse have one more chance? Rosenblatt loses out that time. 10 seconds for Niagara to get the ball forward. Jeremy Talsma sends it forward, and that will do it for the first half at SU Soccer Stadium. It is the perfect first 45 for the Orange. Ezra Widman opened the scoring for SU. That the second goal from Chimre Omese, the difference so far for the Orange. Have hopefully all been moved in at this point, as well as all the other returning students. And quite a few of them are here tonight. Jamie Barry gets ready to be back in goal for Niagara as we are back underway for the second 45 between Syracuse and Niagara. A few changes as well for Syracuse. Kelvin DaCosta has entered the contest at halftime. Seen the return of a few of the players that came out as well during the first half, including Gabe Threadgold, who's back on the right-hand side. Michael Aqua as well has come in the forward position for SU. Niagara have gone back to their starting 11 here to start the second half. Jeremy Talsma with the throw-in for Niagara. The freshman was very unlucky to concede an own goal against UAlbany. It was completely not his fault. And has been performed valiantly tonight as well. Has been really physical down this right-hand side. And it's made it so that Syracuse have had to play a lot more on the left.
And that's exactly the bounce back that you want from a freshman. You never want to start your collegiate career giving up an own goal, but it just shows what he's got.
Aqua sprinting in behind, up against Payne. Aqua's shot directly into the palms of Jamie Barry.
That's what we saw in the first half. Niagara pushed forward offensively, and then there's just so much room behind. Aqua had a great chance here. He was electric in the opener against Colgate and just couldn't get enough behind that shot.
Jamie Barry just one save away now from his career high of 8. 7 total saves for Niagara tonight. Syracuse, that single one, and if you were with us for our halftime coverage, you saw that fantastic save from Tomas Hart. That ball's over the top. Aqua's run onto it. Still Aqua goes. Stays on his feet. Ball is loose. Fortier couldn't come onto it. Syracuse, the opportunity fizzles out. Ball's crossed in from the far side. Gave Threadgold, but fails to keep it in play.
This does not look like a team that's only playing its second true match together. So many new players. We've talked about it all game long, but just the chemistry inside in the final third. We haven't seen too many scenarios where, you know, the ball goes out and the players are saying, oh, I thought you were going this way. This team feels like it's really figuring itself out.
Niagara playing out of the back. Nicholas Kalukian pressing high for the orange. And that Syracuse press, the counter press, ever effective, even in the early stages of the second half. Kalukian. Aqua. Kalukian get it back. He's brought down. Referee says play on. Ball is deflected and out of play, and it was off Sakil Ming in the end. It will be a Niagara goal kick. Sakil Ming comes from Bermuda. He is a Bermudan international, but he's the only player on the Syracuse roster who doesn't come from an MLS academy or as a transfer.
Came from the Northwood School, one of the top prep schools in the country. Played in the Premier Prep League, and you know, it's just so interesting to see the different backgrounds that all these players come from. I know you talked about it earlier with Niagara and all the internationals they have.
Del Priore stays on his feet. Still Del Priore. Can he get the better of Omese? Still got it here. Roach is able to reset. Alsma has his shot ripped. And it goes a little too far left of the post.
That was a good job by Talsma to see that he had space forward. He was right in between two defenders. Syracuse was trying so hard to keep its shape, and Talsma just went right in between them.
Bill Boyle in his 9th season as head coach of the Niagara Purple Eagles. Played alongside Syracuse head coach Ian McIntyre for 3 seasons. Was also an assistant coach at Michigan State, Colgate, and U Albany before he joined Niagara in 2016. Niagara getting more of the ball to start this second half. Cameron Roach didn't do well enough with it, and gives away a throw-in for SU. Really moving forward into Syracuse territory. Just under 6 minutes gone in the second half, and commands coming from head coach Ian McIntyre. If you were with us in the first half, we attempted to have a little quick chat with Coach McIntyre, but a foul on the field that happened right in front of him meant that we had to postpone that quick chat that we wanted to have with Syracuse head coach. But in the heat of battle, Coach McIntyre is one of the most locked-in managers and also one of the most vocal on the sideline.
It's so interesting to just listen to him. Listen to what he's commanding out to his players. It doesn't matter where you stand in this stadium or where you sit. If you're in the bleachers, you're on the hill, you can hear pretty much everything that Coach McIntyre says. And it's just so interesting to hear what his commands are for his young players, especially this season when there's so many guys who are new to the system.
Kalukian on the press. Jamie Barry sending it well forward. The Orange win it back. Aqua was able to get the header, and Kalukian's onto it. Nicholas Kalukian, fantastic challenge from Jeremy Talsma. The freshman did win the ball. The Syracuse bench in front of us weren't too happy about it, but it did seem like a completely clean challenge from the Ontario freshman.
Definitely a little bit risky with the slide in the box, but pretty much about as perfect as it gets. Got the ball first, and then Kalukian tripped over him afterwards.
He's a player that head coach Bill Boyle had nothing but kind words, and was really feeling for his player after he scored that, after he conceded that own goal against UAlbany on Thursday. But it shows the confidence he has in his freshman, in the starting 11, and has played full game so far today. That was a foul on Andre Cutler de Jesus, and he's remained down for a little bit and a little slow to his feet. Played only one game last season. De Jesus, 14 minutes against Binghamton. This is the second season since transferring from Marist, as that's a yellow card for Felix Kogler. Second yellow of the night. There's frustration from Bill Boyle and his coaching staff.
Yeah, just a little bit kind of studs up from Kogler. The cleats just hit Cutler de Jesus right on that shin, and it definitely stings for a little bit, and that's why there's the yellow card.
Second of the night for the Purple Eagles. It will be a free kick for Niagara. Kogler will whip it in. Headed away at the near post valiantly by Widman. Excuse me, that's Kalukian at the near post. Coach McIntyre said Kalukian is the spearhead of this team. And you can see that not just going forward, but defensively as well.
Yeah, we've seen him multiple times on the defensive end, head the ball away. Do it all, high effort player.
Long throw from Talsma, ball is loose. Referee has a decision to make, and it will be a goal kick.
There's Kalukian in the middle of it once again. He fell to the ground, but still made an impact. He falls, and it makes things more difficult for the Niagara players.
Nicholas Kalukian, admired not just in the States, but overseas as well. Spent time with the U21 Armenian national team in the European qualifiers. Scored in a 1-1 draw against North Macedonia back in April.
You just know how much that means to him.
Here is Aqua in the behind, got the ball from Kalukian. It's Aqua, Kalukian! Just like that, Syracuse, it's 3-0. And look how much it means to not just Kalukian, but the entire team. They're all piled up down by the corner flag.
As happy as you are to see your defenders get in on the offensive action, Nick Kalukian is the guy who you really want to see get going. We saw it at times last year where he was electric. Here, just a great 1-2 pass with Aqua, the two forwards, and Kalukian with a great finish inside. I mean, that's just a perfect 1-2 pass. Bury the keeper out of the way, and this crowd loves it.
Completely unselfish as well from Michael Aqua. Can't take away from the assist. And Nicholas Kalukian, who didn't have the best 2023, 4 goals and 1 assist last season. He's opened his account already in 2024.
He's such a talented player. So many times last year you would just think, how did that not go in? That was an unbelievable chance. We saw earlier he hit the crossbar. If Syracuse is going to have a successful season this year, it's going to be because of Kalukian in front.
Syracuse again putting on the pressure. They want even more. A 3-0 scoreline. One that may not have been predicted before tonight, because this is a really solid and experienced Niagara team. But Syracuse, the young guns, Nicholas Kalukian, one of the eldest on the team, now an upperclassman. And this orange squad have welcomed the Purple Eagles with open arms, but not in the right way.
I think it was really important for Syracuse to get that third goal. It's really difficult in college soccer when the style of play is so different against teams like Niagara compared to your ACC squads. Niagara right now is playing more like how ACC teams will play. They're not just sitting back. They're not playing with 10 men behind the ball. And then Syracuse got it going offensively. I think that's something that kind of hurts the Orange early in the season in conference play sometimes, is so many times like in the first half, their only chances are on set pieces. But there you saw an open field goal, and that's just so key for this young squad.
Michael Aqua again, he has been active to start this second half. Already got that 1 assist, but has been working down both flanks. Misses out that time. Carlos de Jesus, his attempt went a little too far right and actually ends up behind from where he kicked it. It's 10 minutes gone in the second half. Nicholas Whaley, Adam Gotkin with you here on ESPN Plus and ACC Network Extra. And Adam, just these opening 10 minutes, is this more proof that this Syracuse team, they look more experienced than they actually are?
Yeah, it's without a doubt more proof, and you needed to see it in this match because it gets a lot tougher coming up.
Tosma driving through, and now his territory is a little bit more exposed, but Syracuse taking their time going forward.
And again, we see here a chance for the Orange to attack. Niagara not playing with 10 men behind the ball. Sintra is playing a lot more far forward than he was in the first half. Niagara right now really playing with 2 forwards forward instead of just Kogler, who's got the yellow card.
Well, last season, Syracuse did very well at home, but struggled away. Only 1 win on the road in 2023. They've already matched that total this season. Their win on Thursday against Colgate. And so again, those non-conference games so important early in the season. Could be very meaningful down the line. Kalukian, cross to the back post. Ball is loose. Aqua is there. Can he still get on it? Forces the save from Barry. Aqua's still up there. Ball is loose. Chifamba couldn't get onto it. Chaos inside the 6-yard area. And in the end, it remains 3-0.
That's not the first time that we've seen this match. If anything, Niagara is lucky to have given up just 3 goals because just so many opportunities here. You got the one save from Barry, and then another, and then another. A good job by Niagara to stay about as calm as possible in that moment and eventually get it out. But if you're the Orange, you're just wishing you could have got that one in.
Jamie Barry in the Niagara net has been a savior on multiple occasions despite the scoreline. 9 career saves tonight. That's now a career high for the Irishman. 18 total shots for the Orange. And Michael Aqua, who got that assist for SU just moments ago, has been sprinting down the left and right-hand side in the opening 13 minutes of this second half. We'll have a stoppage in play here as well. The referee said to stop the clock as Andre Carlos de Jesus has been accused of time wasting.
Such an interesting thing, the time wasting in college soccer, because of course you don't have added time. So when you're up by 3 in this moment, guys are going to take as long as possible, but then the referees start to get upset. Then you start to see some yellow cards come out way earlier than they ever will in the professional ranks. And of course, one of those new rules this year is the clock will start stopping a little bit earlier. With 15 minutes to go, if you're in the lead, on substitutions, the clock will stop. And so it's just trying to get rid of that time wasting, which can be so frustrating for officials.
And obviously the uniqueness that the clock counts down rather than up in NCAA soccer does leave us with a bit more excitement. Michael Aqua running in behind. Niagara will attempt to clear their lines. Roach sending it forward. Turn away by Kogler. Schwamber does well.
It seems like this tactical change from Bill Boyle, at least for now, is going to be permanent with the 2 forwards playing a lot higher. We kept on talking about in the first half, the entire team pretty much playing defensively. That's not the case right now. So surprisingly, up 3-0, Syracuse is going to continue to have all of these attacking chances.
Hard challenge by Ming. Result in a free kick called against the Bermudan international. Coach Bilbo told us before the break that his team was doing all the right things, but I'm sure he will certainly be frustrated with the way his team started relatively promising in the opening 5 minutes or so of the second half. But head coach Ian McIntyre's squad has been almost unstoppable since about the midpoint of the first half.
I think you'll be looking back at that save from Tomas Hutt this entire match. That's, you know, really the one true chance that Niagara has had in this match. And if they score there, if they go up 1-0, it's a completely different game. But after Syracuse scores the first and then not long later scores the second, Niagara's hopes, they just start to diminish. And as the time goes on, it just gets harder and harder.
Niagara have a little bit more possession here as they try and get towards that Syracuse net. Ball to the back post. Crucial header from Cutler de Jesus, and the ball is cleared by Mig. Talsma and Kalukian battle at it. The result in a free kick that goes against the freshman.
That's a great job by Kalukian. Already with the yellow card in this match, to not be overly physical and even draw a foul against you.
I mean, Talsma has had a good evening on that right-hand side. As you can tell, he's had a lot of hard work to do down this left wing. Ming has been notoriously running down the left-hand side. But now down the right, here comes Threadgold. That cross into the box. Chifamba sails over the crossbar and in towards the training facilities here on South Campus at Syracuse.
That's an excellent look from Threadgold to not just cross it in high, but to go with the low pass to Chifamba up top, who almost was able to get a perfect shot on it. I mean, that's almost exactly the look that you want. Just sent it over the bar, though.
Elton Chifamba, one of the ACC transfers coming from Clemson, won the national championship in 2021. Also the ACC regular season champion in 2021 as well. Was the Clemson Soccer Newcomer of the Year in 2021. Was a 4-star recruit and a top 100 freshman. So not short of accolades, and has played every single minute tonight.
He's important now, but once ACC comes around, he's just going to be even more important as someone who has all the experience.
Kalukian runs onto it and has it. Kalukian on the right foot, goes to left. Still Nicholas Kalukian! Forces a save again from Jamie Barry.
I don't even think we saw this at all from Kalukian last year. Just the patience in that moment to try and work on something and then get the free shot. Maybe it doesn't go in, but that's another excellent look for Kalukian.
The Armenian, you take on a little bit of hydration. It is a little bit of a humid night. It's been a warm day in central New York. And on that beautiful artificial turf, it does make it a little bit more humid, but this will be a real concern for Niagara as Jeremy Talsma has gone down, and somebody who has had a great effort tonight. You have a chance for all those involved to have a little bit of a sip, and also a substitution as Juan Cordona is getting ready to enter for the Purple Eagles. A little bit of instruction as well from Coach Ian McIntyre. You have this little stoppage. It does look like Talsma might not be able to continue.
Yeah, he went down right as Kalukian was going at him and stayed down until they ended up stopping play, but able to get back to his feet.
And made a couple great challenges earlier on to stop Syracuse, even in this second half. All up against Nicholas Kalukian as well. That battle's been going on all night. The Armenians' goal was the third here in the second half. Jeremy Talsma does exit the contest. Juan Cordona will come in for his second appearance of the season. Nicholas Kalukian, 4 goals last season, already opened his account this season. Michigan transfer last year. A very important figure for the future of Ian McIntyre's squad. Those couple grad students as well with that ACC experience. Already mentioned Chifamba, but Ernest Bauer, who came in the first half. Excuse me. How important is having those players who have been at the top level, that have been at the top of the ACC, to help these younger guys grow?
I mean, it's everything, especially for the freshmen, to have those guys who have been there before.
Ming's cross to the back post. The ball is loose, and the bicycle kick effort from Kalukian was a little bit optimistic. Ball thrown out quickly by Barry. Kogler is able to turn away from Omese, but a fantastic challenge and recovery by Chimre Omese.
That kid can just do it all. Offensive end, defensive end, it doesn't matter. I mean, he has just been everywhere. I feel like I've said that a million times.
Not just in this game, but against Colgate as well, you have to say. Got the game winner against the Raiders on Thursday. Chimre Omese, the freshman, from just over the border in Ontario. He's really making his mark on this Syracuse team from back and to front.
Pinch here. Nick, that's you! Nick! Well done! Nick! Deal, flick on! Hey, look for Nick! Play Nick!
We talked about the roster configuration of both of these squads. Niagara team, 5 newcomers only compared to Syracuse 22. An experience you feel has been on show. There's been maturity as well from both teams. It's something that head coach Bill Boyle says that he doesn't envy having those younger players, but at the same time, that youthful energy that we've seen from SU today has been quite apparent.
And these early experiences for Niagara are important. This is a squad that knows that unless something crazy happens, it's not going to get an at-large bid to the NCAA tournament. So it's all about conference play and how can you set yourself up for conference play. This team won 3 of its last 5 games of the regular season last year after not winning in its first 9. So it's all about just trying to learn about yourself here. You know, going down 3-0 isn't the worst thing because you have so many things that you can look back at and try and improve on. You know, those mistakes are things that you can fix moving forward.
And with such a short preseason as well, these coaches are not given a lot of time with the players. Even the opening 2 or 3 games could feel like preseason games. Michael Aqua tried to sprint forward, but is cut out by Hungerford, excuse me. There's Juan Cordona, who has recently come into the game for the now injured Jeremy Tolsma. Ball down the line intended for Felix Kogler. Looks as if it will go out of play and be a goal kick for the Orange.
Ian McIntyre saying there before the goal kick, let's slow things down, calm down a little bit, just go with the short passes. You know, at this point, when you're up 3-0, you want to make sure that you don't let anything in behind you. I think there's a lot of, you know, hope for a clean sheet. Those clean sheets feel so good. And at this point, you're up 3-0. Control the ball. Control a game. Those are things that you want to learn. Those are things that you might need to use moving forward in the season. Just said it with Niagara. It's the same for Syracuse. You're up 3-0 at this point. What can you do that'll help you out later on? Can you control possession and just control the game without necessarily having to go and attack at goal?
About the halfway point of this second half. Syracuse still in control, but 3-0. Nicholas Kalukian's goal early in the second half extended the lead from 2 at halftime. Ezra Widman and Chimre Omese, the other 2 goal scorers for the Orange. Ball behind Aqua there. Nothing about this Syracuse team and just the tenure under head coach Ian McIntyre is the ability to develop players and help them turn pro, and that's why all the connections to the MLS academies has been so important and so influential as well. A total of 21 players have been drafted into the MLS Super Draft under head coach Ian McIntyre. A few of the notable ones: Miles Robinson, Tejon Buchanan, Alex Bono for DC United. 3 of the headliners. There's also players who have gone pro overseas, most notably and most recently Nathan Apoku signed for Leicester City in 2022. Currently on loan in the Belgian Pro League.
You know, I think a lot about Miles Robinson and that 2015 team that made it all the way to the College Cup for Syracuse, because after that, this team struggled. It had some years with just a couple of wins, but then McIntyre was able to rebuild. And the trust of the athletic program here at Syracuse to not, after a couple bad years, ring the alarms and trust McIntyre. And last year you don't repeat, you don't go past the second round of the tournament, but now this year you have so many young, talented players, and you can just go back at it again and have another chance.
Ming down the left-hand side, lovely control. Can he get inside of Roach? Chifamba. DaCosta rips it from distance. That one is easily collected by Barry.
I think the transfer portal has made things a lot easier for coaches like McIntyre, who oftentimes kind of put themselves in this situation where that you're going to have to bring in a lot of freshmen. You bring in a freshman class of 13, that's something that was developed over the last 2 or 3 years.
Well, Jamie Barry there officially has a new career high of 11 saves. He has gone up against a total of 14 shots on goal today. 3 of those have gone past him into the back of the Niagara net. 2 substitutions now as well, as Sakil Ming has stayed down here on the left-hand side. Ben Rosenblatt and Braden Smith will enter for Cuse. It's definitely concerning for Sakil Ming, who is putting a great shift this evening. Gabe Threadgold making way for the Orange. Certainly what you don't need at this early stage of the season, any sort of serious injuries, so I'm sure any even minor ones will be taken very seriously by both teams. Sakil Ming will exit the contest. Ezra Widman gives him a warm embrace. Big smile on his face after he's opened the scoring for Syracuse in the first half. Confirmation of those substitutions. Braden Smith does come into the game. Famba does well. Now Smith. That was won back nicely by Cordona. Del Priori. Kogler has his back to goal. This time Del Priori loses out. Syracuse can quickly come the other way. Just over 20 minutes to go at SU Soccer Stadium. Syracuse comfortably out in front by 3-0. Nicholas Whaley and Adam Gotkin still with you on ACC Network Extra. What has been a relatively surprising night. We expected Niagara to make this a really close game, but Syracuse have taken full grasp and could even add another here. Smith's cross, a goal! Kalukian was there. Ball forced to Fortier, excuse me. And Syracuse come close again.
Kalukian went down in the box, and that could have been a goal for the Orange if he wasn't right there. Oh, right in the back. Kalukian still down, just getting stretched out. You said it earlier, it's a hot, humid night.
Kalukian has stayed down here. It was Niagara's best defender on that play, blocking his own teammate's shot. Armenian does remain down. Well, Coach Ian McIntyre, we mentioned earlier, an absolute pro at developing pro talent. A few players on this Niagara team that they'll certainly feel frustrated, but there's definitely pro material in this team. Because Bill Boyle has been really proud of what his team has been able to grow into. Having all these returning players, only 5 newcomers. Kalukian's still getting stretched out and looked into here. There'll be a VAR check as well, video review check, I should say. See what's going on here. Possibly a maybe a penalty situation here. We'll see what the referee and his crew will look at.
It's really one of the only things that you can think of. And again, we said this earlier, one of the new things to college soccer this season, the ability for the referees to look back at plays. They don't have to, second guess themselves in the moment. They can think about it once again and then decide if they want to make a change.
Looking at possible penalty, would you say, Adam? See if this shot ricochets anywhere.
Looking for a handball somewhere, maybe.
Oh, there.
Oh, it's right there.
But would you say that's arms a little too close? There's one Cardona there. Hands up, hands by the body, and a quick Richone Clark, our center referee today, will make a decision there will be no penalty officially.
I think that's the right decision. Cardona's arms just kind of tucked against his body. He was trying his hardest to make sure those arms weren't flying free. That was a great job by him to make sure he stayed close and compact, so there was no penalty.
A curtain call for Nicholas Kalukian comes off. Scored that third goal for SU. Daniel Burko will enter the contest for the second time tonight. The clock stopped, under 20 minutes to go. A goal now for Niagara could make things a little bit more interesting. Syracuse feel are in cruise control. Hungerford sending it forward. Battle on the far side, and Syracuse able to withstand the pressure. And turn and go forward here. Chifamba, he's got space ahead of him and taking it. He's got options either side. Chifamba sending it forward. Michael Aqua couldn't quite get to it. And Niagara do well to recover. Cameron Roach. He sees the green ahead of him, and a fantastic challenge from Kelvin DaCosta. Braden Smith and Cameron Roach battling down the right flank. That ball's nice from Kogler. Running onto it was Dominic Sintra, and he couldn't get it towards goal. An opportunity for Niagara just fizzles out in the end. 3 substitutions for SU. Ezra Widman, Carlos Zambrano, and Ernest Bauer will enter the contest. Carlos Zambrano making his first appearance for SU. Transfer from Daytona State College, played there for 2 seasons, 13 goals, 16 assists. Junior College Region 8 Player of the Year in 2023, one of the best collegiate players in JUCO last season. Impact he could make for SU. Burko, cross goals. Zambrano was involved immediately, couldn't get his foot to it.
Just so interesting to see what a guy like Zambrano can do. You mentioned him just a moment ago, but you think back to a guy like Nate Opoku, who signed with Leicester City after just 1 season at Syracuse, came from a non-Division I school. So there's so much talent all over the country, Division I or not. McIntyre's done an excellent job at finding those gems, and Zambrano easily could be another one of those gems.
It's Widman. He gets it back now. Lovely turn. Ernest Bauer! Another great save from Jamie Barry.
If it weren't for Jamie Barry, Syracuse would have 6-7 goals by now. That's another unbelievable save. I mean, how about this great turn from Bauer? Gets his left foot open and then just right at Barry. That was an excellent diving stop. So much power behind the shot. And yet again, another corner kick now for the Orange.
Be the 8th on the night for SU. So what's the near post? Burko was there. He's headed clear. Can Niagara go the other way? DaCosta's shot goes well over the bar. We had a doubleheader today for Syracuse women's and men's soccer. We will surely have another one on Thursday. Syracuse men's soccer will face off against Charlotte at 7 p.m. Eastern. And Northeastern will take the trip to Syracuse for the women's game earlier in the day. That one is at 4 p.m.
I'll tell you what, that Syracuse-Charlotte game is a really intriguing one. A Charlotte 49ers squad that won the American Conference last year, was picked to win it again this year, and started its season with a 3-0 thrashing of Davidson, who's a pretty good squad in the A-10, picked to finish in the top half of its conference.
Adam and I will both be on the call for that Charlotte game. It should be a real fun one, so make sure to join us on ACC Network Extra. A quarter of an hour to go. Syracuse still, you feel they're in second gear, ready to put it into third at any moment. There were a few substitutions as well for Niagara in a recent stoppage of play. Felix Kogler was one of the names who exited after a tough night for the Austrian. Didn't get a single shot on goal tonight, barely had a touch as well. It's only a frustrating night. The man who scored 2 goals against UAlbany on Thursday. Syracuse still stretching their legs. Braden Smith sprints down the sideline. He gets his cross in, and that one was just a little too close to Barry. Braden Smith, another one of those freshmen, came from the New England Revolution Academy. New York native as well, from the city. Played a year under Ezra Widman, also at the New England Revolution Academy.
Something you've seen a lot with head coach Ian McIntyre. He finds these academies that he likes, and he continues to just go after it and pick guys from there. Toronto FC, they've sent, it feels like, 1 million players to Syracuse. So even though these guys are new to the roster, there's still some sort of resemblance. They know what they're getting into. They can ask those older guys who have committed to Syracuse, who have already played in Syracuse, what's it like? And it's just one of the things that really helps out this Orange squad, as here's another New England Revolution product.
Garrett Holman making his first appearance in Orange. Substitute who comes out is Chimre Omese. Another fantastic performance from the young man.
Make sure to emphasize here, we see another one of those rule changes. Under 15 minutes to go, the team in the lead substitutes, so the clock stops.
And has remained stopped, 13:43 to go. Here's Bauer. Zambrano runs onto it. The referee says the ball was won. Del Piore on the turn. Gitu down the line, and that one will deflect up into the stands. You mentioned the academies that Ian McIntyre likes to go for. Obviously, do center around the Northeast, New England, NYCFC, Toronto. It's funny to think that Toronto is the closest of those academies, only about 4 hours away. Cross to the back post, running onto it. An opportunity here for Niagara. Ball is loose, and Carlos Zambrano with a great defensive effort. Big moment from the Miami native, making his second major contribution since coming on, his debut for the Orange. A situation where this game may feel like even a preseason game at this point. Coach Ian McIntyre with 31 players on the roster. It's difficult to give everyone play time. Obviously, there's 11 spots only on the pitch, and when you have 4 goalkeepers as well, 3 of which have had first team experience. Jaheim Wickham and Jason Smith, both of them were splitting time last season. Come into 2024, you did expect Jaheim Wickham to possibly get the starting up, but Thomas Hutt comes in first 2 games, and he has been stellar.
Yeah, it's without a doubt the most shocking thing.
Bauer's there with the header. Didn't get enough power to beat Jamie Barry.
But the one, it kind of felt like thing that you knew about this team this year was you were going to have Smith or Wickham in net. You were going to have one of those guys who you can trust. No, it's Tomas Hutt who beats them out for the job. And Ian McIntyre has said that that competition is spread throughout the entire team. And that goalkeeper room sets such an excellent example for everyone else that no spots are guaranteed and that if you compete, you can do anything within this squad.
Santiago Restrepo, the goalkeeping coach for SU, recently has come in and has done an excellent job. And head coach Ian McIntyre has been very, very happy with the production that he has built inside the goalkeeping room. The goalkeepers union also staying strong. Apparently it's a really, really well-knit group, and they all really work hard to make each other better. And like you said, Adam, you hope to see that as well for the rest of the squad, for both sides as well.
It's kind of a dream job, but also a difficult one for Restrepo, who has to balance with 3 different guys who know they can start, but at the same time, be able to work with so many talented players.
Don't forget Kyle Jansen, new freshman goalkeeper as well, one for the future. Ernest Bauer's shot deflected and cleared away.
And Coach McIntyre made sure to really emphasize to us just how talented Jansen is when we were asking him about the goalkeeper room. He never left out the freshman, even though he's brand new to this team. He was a guy who has played with national teams before, member of the U17 South African squad. So the talent does not end. And some of these freshmen who we might not even see appear for Syracuse this year, the 13 of them in the next 4 years are just going to be so crucial for this development of this program.
And you mentioned earlier that even between 2015 and 2020 or so, it wasn't the best seasons. Head coach Ian McIntyre was able to rebuild. It feels like this might be that rebuilding time. You've 2 years removed from a national championship. Much of that squad is gone. Only 4 players remain that were at least part of the Syracuse squad in 2022. Hard charge there from Zambrano, was nearly picked off. Argitu's cross. Syracuse able to clear it comfortably. Bauer up against Payne. Power does excellently. Burko to his left. Ball was a little behind the Norwegian. And a good challenge from Cardona to slow the pace down. Still Burko. He's got more space. Ernest Bauer hesitated a little bit and then concedes a free kick.
One of the other things that you got to remember with all these new players is some guys are going to be shifted around. They're going to be playing a lot further forward than they're used to, maybe a lot further back than they're used to. Bauer right now is getting a lot of chances in the attack. I mean, at this point, if you're Ian McIntyre, under 10 minutes to go, you're up 3-0. Why not try everything that you can if you think, hey, maybe there's a chance Bauer can do something as a forward moving forward. Give him a chance now. Now is the time to work on it.
It is Bauer and Daniel Burko who are splitting the front 2 at the moment in that 3-5-2. And head coach Bill Boyle will go back through the tapes certainly and pick out. There are certain posts, especially I feel defensively. Jeremy Talsma, hopefully that injury is not a long one. He was a great fit for this Purple Eagles side. There always are positives to take from a team as powerful as SU. Braden Smith down the left. That one's crossed in, cleared away by Kevin Payne. Niagara still haven't cleared it fully and then do this time. Sam Layton as ever getting to it first. Zambrano. Burko on the turn, flag stays down. Still Burko. Widman. Can he find the opening? It hits the referee. And the referee will halt proceedings. It will be a question of who actually gets possession here. Who will get the drop ball? It looks like it will go to Niagara. Daniel Burko not happy about that.
Tell you what, you want to see your players not be happy about that. Even though you're up 3-0, you want to see them continue to want to attack and have that desire to go forward and score. Some players, they're up 3-0, they would say, oh, you can have it. But it's that extra, you know, thing that not everyone has. It's that desire to go and score. We just see from Burko right there.
So a lot of the guys on the field at the moment for SU didn't start tonight. Burko, Zambrano, Bauer, all these guys fighting for a place in the starting 11. So every minute that they do get, they will be playing at 110%. Bauer. Laid off shot from distance from Rosenblatt. It's tipped onto the bar by Barry.
It's another great opportunity there for Syracuse. You almost feel bad for Jamie Barry with how many shots he's had to face, but something that head coach Bill Boyle said to us before the game is he's worked so much on that mental fortitude this offseason, and you see it here in this match. You give up 3 goals, but you still continue to fight, continue to make great saves, because, you know, what else are you supposed to do? Just sit back and let them score? No, what good goalkeepers do is they continue to battle throughout the entire match, because, you know, what if you're in a 3-3 draw?
Wearing the captain's armband as well for Niagara this season. Head coach Bill Boyle said he doesn't think that there's been a time he's ever had a captain who is an underclassman. So that says it all really about what kind of a character Jamie Barry is. Cross towards the back post. Holman was there. The acrobatics didn't go the way of the freshman. Holman from Hamburg, New Jersey, another one of the New England Revolution Academy graduates. Played in the 2022 and 2023 MLS Next Cup and was named a United Soccer Coaches All-American. He was also nominated for Gatorade Player of the Year his senior season at the Phillips Academy.
Just another one of those special talents, someone who has gone through an academy, also, though, did play a senior year of high school. Just such a special talent. We're only seeing the beginning of him and just so many of these other freshmen.
Ball played over the top. Bauer couldn't control. This is a team filled with accolades, both freshmen and all the way up to grad students alike. 5 minutes to go at SU Soccer Stadium, and back-to-back wins for SU seems moments away. Zambrano shot from distance, deflected right off of Burko. Syracuse have won 4 straight home openers, looking down the barrel of their 5th. Whereas for Niagara, see themselves looking down at 2 back-to-back losses to start the season. A few injury problems as well might even be appearing. Alberto Sanchez Cervera sat down at the far side and slow to get back to his feet. Clock still running. Cervera comes from Levante, Valencia in Spain. Played 7 years in the Levante Academy, one of the best academies in all of La Liga in Spain. Infringement on the throw-in means it will be a free kick for Niagara. Just over 3.5 minutes to go. Well, Adam, what are your thoughts with about 3.5 minutes to go? Syracuse been dominant, they've had their chances, and now late in the game they've been able to control it. What does this say about this team, the youth of the team, and also looking forward to Thursday?
I think this is exactly the match that you were hoping for if you're Ian McIntyre, because it wasn't a 3-0 win where you were saying, oh, maybe that one could have been closer. You were saying maybe that could have been 5 or 6-0. Just the amount of shots that this team got off and got on goal. 18 of them on net. Last time against Colgate, just 4 of your 16 shots find the cage. Last season, one of the worst teams in the country when it comes to shooting percentage. But tonight, you saw that it felt like everything that Syracuse did, they had, you know, just kind of a meaning behind it. And they were going towards net, they were going towards goal.
Under 3 minutes to go now. And from a Niagara perspective, there certainly are positives to take. Like we've mentioned, Jamie Barry has been stellar in the net. Total of 26 shots on net for SU.
And he's got 14 saves.
Yeah, I was going to say a career high of saves for the Irishman. Foul is called against Niagara there.
It's difficult for Barry. You give up those 3 goals, and those are going to be the 3 plays that you look at afterwards. But 14 saves, you can't ask for anything more. We said this earlier, but when you go into MAC play, you're probably not going to see this many shots on net. So it's just getting those saves, that you got a chance, you got a chance to stop them. And you're showing so many times how you can make those quick decisions, those quick dives, and those quick reflexes. And he's just been so impressive. Yes, he's given up those 3 goals, but just so much good on top of that.
Shoulder to shoulder between Cardona and Smith. It's a Colombian who comes out on top this time. "90 seconds to go." Syracuse, we've already mentioned, they will play Charlotte on Thursday. Make sure to join us on ACC Network Extra for that. Adam and I will be with you then as well. Another road game for Niagara against UMBC. They start their season with they had 1 home game against UAlbany and then 4 straight away games before they're back at home against VMI on the 8th of September. This early season for all NCAA soccer teams is very heavily condensed. Non-conference so important for so many reasons, not just for the here and now, but later on as well. RPI will certainly come into effect as soon as the closer we get to the NCAA tournament.
You said there, a trip to Maryland for Niagara coming up next. They play at Navy after that, so back-to-back games down in Maryland. And other than that, they only go south of Pennsylvania 1 more time the entire season. So this schedule just completely condensed around the Northeast, and this is a team that's not traveling really at all.
And that makes it a lot easier, not just on fatigue, and also especially post-game. That'll make things a lot easier for recovery and preparation for the games ahead. 10 seconds to go, and Syracuse seconds away from back-to-back wins to start the 2024 season. And there it is, number 25, Syracuse, victorious in the home opener for the 5th straight season.